Now we're going to be a little bit washed out here today because we've got this big window next to us, and not much I can do about that. We're going to start putting an attic space up above here in between the strainer beams and the peak of the roof. That'll give us a few feet at the actual peak we can use for storage. We're going to end up eventually going just about the full length of the barn, and that'll give us quite a bit more room to store stuff. Like I said in the last video, we got a big issue of just too much stuff and not throwing anything out, but I'm just one of those people. There's a lot of stuff that's just useful to have, and I just hate to get rid of it because I found every time I do, a week later I need it. It's goofy, very, very goofy. But anyway, stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. This first piece is going to go up. We'll get that up. This is going to be the start of our box joists, and then we'll get start getting rafters across and go from there. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's see if she fits. I cut her just a little bit shy. Don't move. Now let's see if we can get this thing up without destroying everything in the process. Not too many good options for doing this, really, right here in this spot. Well, let's see what we got. what's going to be the best way. You know what? Maybe this way. Yeah. There's some jackass who moves stuff out of his way. Good way about it here. That went to plan, right? Holy shit. Can't believe that didn't break anything. So these are the temporary supports that were put in when my father-in-law and brother-in-law were putting the rafters on the ridge board. Really nothing that's really necessary. That's a little better. Why you guys let me do it the other way? Boy, I take you guys to some interesting places with me, I'll tell you that. Now, we're going to have a lot to be left to desire for, you know, things like headspace up here, but hopefully we're not going to be up here too awful much. Famous last words, I know, every time. got a lot done today up there. Most of the attic floor's up. The joists are all in. I've got to get the outer box joist on this end of it. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now it's kind of cramped up there, but I'm not looking to store. I'm only looking to store stuff we absolutely can't throw out. Now, in all honesty, there's not much on this planet that you absolutely can't throw out, but there's a few things we want to save, you know, some of the kids' projects were little stuff like that, camping gear, things like that, that can go up there. Anything that's going to get used a lot, I'm going to be putting a hatch in every bay of this second floor, you know, something like a 2x2 or a 2x3 hatch, and that way all I have to do is pop the hatch open. Anything we use the most, Christmas decorations, all that stuff, I'll put it right close to the hatch. So all you gotta do is climb up the ladder, grab it, and pull it down. It's not big enough to store a ton, but it's big enough to actually declutter what I have going on down here. That's really the big thing. A lot of the stuff in this corner that you guys may have seen in the last video, that's going to be going to the dump. Just have to go through it. There's just a bunch of stuff. We have way too much stuff, but anyway, this should help me quite a bit, and that'll clear up this floor. Like I said in the last video, I think the radial arm saw is going to be moving over here. I think we're going to build a nice workstation for it, because to be honest with you, that's one of my favorite tools. I really enjoy using it. It's quick, it's easy, and I need a good long table for it. I think that one workbench in the middle of the floor there, that throw together one we did out of scraps a couple of years ago, that I think is going to get dismantled over the course. I've got a couple projects over the course of the winter for the wood shop, plenty for the forge. I'm just going to get to what I can get to, and whatever I don't get to, that's just the way it is, one of those deals. But like I said before, we've got the forge pretty well set up where it needs to be. The workflow in there is pretty nice. It's time to move up here and work on the second floor. I think I've come to a decision on what I'm going to do for now to finish off at least the roof in here, the ceiling, so we can actually heat it and be warm. Because once it gets below about 15 degrees, that wood stove, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. It just does not satisfy in here. In there will be fine for heat, because that'll be just a small area. It'll all be insulated, finished off for her. But I'm going to get some thin OSB for now, because it's dirt cheap. And what I'd like to do down the road is I'd like to put a nice tongue and groove ceiling in here. But something I'd like to mill out myself. So I'm going to get some OSB, probably some 1/2 inch stuff. It doesn't have to be big or anything like that. But I want something that I can leave up there and just nail right to it down the road when I'm ready to get to that point. But we're going to get some OSB and we're going to paint it white, because that's a big problem I have up here. Is I have plenty of lighting, but it gives off kind of an orange glow, especially on the camera. It looks orange when I go to edit. A lot of that's from the pink insulation board, things like that. But I don't have a lot of light colored white surfaces to bounce that light off into here. And in a wood shop, any kind of shop, you need good lighting. That's a very important thing. So I'm going to do that in there in her workout area. I'm going to do it out here as I can, one of those type deals. A few sheets here, a few sheets there. We'll paint it, let it dry, and then put it up. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm sorry I didn't get you guys the best camera angles. It's kind of, like I said, it's a little too cluttered in here right now to move that tripod and set it up the way it really should be. So once you get into tight quarters, it's a lot harder to move that thing around and get decent shots. But every day's an improvement, guys. You know, now that haying's done, things like that, I can focus back on the shop and get some of that stuff done. Because every year I find myself, I get towards winter, and I spend the first month of every winter just cleaning the damn shop out from the summer's worth of mess. And that's what I have right now. My shop's always become a catch-all in the summertime for anything, pretty much anything. So we're trying to get away from that, but it's a very hard habit to break. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.